We would like to welcome you to the Better Cribs and Gardens channel. If you have been looking for information on growing hydroponic vegetables at home, we have our top 3 compilation videos that we have researched and want to present to you. Also, we have provided the information to their different YouTube channels. Make sure that you visit them. Please don't copyright strike us, this is to inform, educate and entertain our audience. But first off, there are links at the bottom in the description of this video that will take you to the official page that you see here. If you are looking for the Hydroponics Simplified official website, for getting started in hydroponics, expert tips, plans, and secrets, which is said to be an ebook and more information as well, that is also featured in the beginning and at the end of the video. And you can see that this featured information is said to be simply the best guide out there and more. Just take a look as we briefly scroll. Also take a look here, as it says that the featured ebook is said to take you on a journey, almost like going down a garden path, and is said to help match the right system to your situation and more. Just take a look as we briefly scroll through. If you would like to take a look at the featured Hydroponics Simplified, Getting Started in Hydroponics, Expert Tips, Plans and Secrets for yourself, all that you have to do is just click on the links provided in this description. Just briefly take a look here as we scroll. But now, let's get to our selection of videos that we have researched for growing hydroponic vegetables at home. We hope that you will enjoy it. Where we researched the videos from. Video number 1 is from the Days with the Lyons YouTube channel. Video number 2 is from the Yeah Likes YouTube channel. Video number 3 is from the Days with the Lyons YouTube channel.
This is the hydroponic kit, or this is the way you receive it out of the box. Now, as I said, I'm going to glue all my fittings. They recommend using Teflon tape, but I've never done that ever before, so I'm actually going to use some PVC pipe glue.
Oh, 1 mile in broad patches and showers early Friday, but improving to greater than 6 miles on Friday morning.
It's all in pieces, and it still is. It's only just sitting there ever so carefully. I wanted to just square everything up. So if you come this way, and if you look down here, what I did with the Sharpie pen, I just lined all the holes, just so they were all basically vertical. And I just put a little mark on the pipe and a little mark on the fitting, so when you put them together and glue them, you know that you'll be on the right, it'll be vertical for you. So we're going to pull it apart now, so it'll be probably going to collapse, because I just put it together ever so carefully. It's the hydroponic kit, or this is the way you receive it out of the box. Now, as I said, I'm going to glue all my fittings. They recommend using Teflon tape, but I've never done that ever before, so I'm actually going to use some PVC pipe glue. So now you see where my mark is here, where I had it before, and this is the center line. So what we're going to do is just put a bit of tape, some glue around the fitting. It's sort of a nice amount. And sometimes you should probably sand the pipe, the surface, to help make it stick together. But because this is not under pressure or anything like that, this should be more than enough. And then also put a little bit inside your fitting on this side. Oh, not down there. And now get your 2 marks and line your marks up, because once you push it in and get it there, if you go get the marks, see the marks are lined up, so it should be now, when it's up, it should be pretty well vertical. Okay, it's right. Do the same for the next one.
That's a clever guy.
A little bit of glue going around. Try to keep it clean. Okay, same thing again. Line it up. push them in and just check it a little bit. Yep. And now we do the third one.
What's that fluid that you're putting on again?
This is a PVA, I think they call it, or PVC. It's a plumber's glue for
Pipes.
yeah, plastic pipes.
Okay.
And the next one, push it in. And last one. And one more. Push them in. There we go. Okay. This one we'll have to actually do them all and push them all in at once. Stand it up. Make sure it's sitting the right way. Again, some glue on the inside. So we've got to work pretty quick here. So we've got to seal them all. And push them down equally. Now the back legs here, which are the long ones, I'm not going to glue them on. This is what they give you, and it's just thread tape, Teflon thread tape, and they expect you to wrap it around the pipe, I gather, like this, and then use this as a seal. So I've never done this before, so bear with me. Normally I've only used it for thread tape, so actually it's a little bit different. It's not so much like, it is a different type of tape. It's a little bit more fibre in it, so up. So I'm going to assume you just put one layer on it. Let's see. And you screw it in. Oh, there you go. Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, so you can actually use this. It's not actually a Teflon tape. It's a slightly different. It's got more body to it than Teflon. And yeah, so that's the first leg. So we'll do the second leg. Oh, that's the rear leg. And with it, when you put it on, obviously you've got to go the depth of the socket. So you need about 20 mil. And I think I should twist it out this way. Make it a little bit easier to wind out. I'm going to do a couple of layers and then I'm working my way back. Bring it off. Just remember the way you wound it. See, if I unwind it there like that, so you want to twist that way, anti-clockwise, when you push it in, because that'll keep the tape tight. So turn it over. Okay, so there's the tape. So if I wind it in anti-clockwise, it'll just stay tight. If I go clockwise, it will unscrew the tape. Twist it all the way in and push. Beautiful. I'm impressed with that. As I said, I've never used the tape part before. And again, what I'm going to do on the bottom short legs. And one's longer than the other. Okay, right, so yes, sorry, 2 legs, one longer than the other. So obviously you've got the fitting down here for your pump, so that has to have the short leg, and the longer leg is on the other side. So again, same thing, I'm going to glue it because I'm not going to, you won't need to take these off. So putting the glue on, push it in, twist it, and there you go, home. Same thing on the bottom. And twist and push. Oh boy, there we go. We should now be able to stand it up. Pump that will go into our 10-litre tank.
What is that again?
The little pump. This will pump the solution around the
Around the system.
around the system. Okay, so with the pump, you know, if you stand it up, it's going to kick, so that's not very good because obviously, unless we can pull the hose up further and we can stand it up. Let me check up here. So if we go up here, the hose is up here. I may not be able to grab it now. I'm going to just stick the pump to the side here, and it's a nice straight curve. So we'll just do it like that, and always keep your lid on, keep your when you have it. So what we're going to do now, we're going to connect this. We're just going to run water through it, and just rinse everything out. So I'll go get myself ready for water. Here, this is actually rainwater that we catched last night.
What is that?
I got my power. It comes with this adapter because a Malaysian plug, obviously, and then you've got a international adapter on the other side. Takes about 3 or 4 different countries. So that's the unit there. It's ready to go. So I'm going to just put some water in the system, and if you tip it in, whoop, like that. Don't make a mess like I did. Cover the pump fully, so I'm going to bring it up. Keep it about 10 mil from the top. Might need some more once it's running. So push it back around. Move it, put the lid on. Okay, now we're going to plug this in, turn it on, and hopefully it'll start pumping water. Yes, it's pumping. You look up the top here, here's the water. So what it's going to do now, it's going to fill everything up, and then it will start circulating. You hear it trickling away.
Thank you everyone for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and leave a comment. Thank you.
Cool, right? Click the link in the description for pricing, ratings, and reviews.
Welcome back to Airborne Productions. Harbor Freight makes a pretty good little greenhouse. We've done a lot of work to make ours run a hydroponic setup. Let's check it out. So there are many benefits to having a hydroponic setup. It's really clean and organized, and it's also clean on the inside. When you run hydroponics, it really protects your plants and roots from getting all rotted out because the water is continuously running through it. A lot of times with a traditional setup, your roots will collect water and the water won't drain out like it should. That will cause your plants to rot and die. Using hydroponics completely remedies that problem. Harbor Freight carries a few different models, but this one in particular is 10 feet wide by 12 feet long. The greenhouse comes with a steel base for mounting, but it's not really that sturdy. So we decided to pour a little curb of concrete and bolt the aluminum straight to the concrete. That way this thing doesn't blow away at all. There's one more little stability issue that's common with these greenhouses. That's these panels. They often unclip. These panels can blow away with a good gust. So we put a simple little number 10 tech screw in each panel, and that's fine. The construction of this thing is pretty basic. You get your frame all set up, and from there, you put your panels on. Pretty straightforward. 4 roof vents are included, but we added these attachments that open and close based on the temperature outside. Right now they are mostly open, but as it cools off at night, these will close up to slightly regulate the temperature inside the greenhouse. We used some simple rock from Home Depot for the flooring. For shelving, we took cinder blocks, stacked 3 of them up, and used some lumber to make a little platform. We did this around the perimeter, and we did one in the middle. For the hydroponics, we simply use some perlite in the middle, which goes all the way down the bucket. We have a line in each bucket that pumps water in. We have this line out, the rubber seal that flows water out, connected to each one. So when you do this, this is pretty high up, the highest point of this PVC pipe, so the water will flow all the way down. Then the lowest point of this PVC pipe is over here. That way all the water flows completely through and dumps back into this tank. We have a float in the rear for water regulation, as well as a pump right here, which goes up into each line for each bucket. The pump is electronically controlled using the simple electronic timer. Every 15 minutes, the water will run for 60 seconds, and then it repeats. And we are feeding our plants these organic nutrients. We mocked up some misters, and we will utilize a timer. Each plant we have is organic. We have blueberries, Ozark Beauty strawberries, Sequoia strawberries, Super Sweet 100 tomatoes, Husky Cherry Red tomatoes, Juliet tomatoes, Roma tomatoes, red beefsteak tomatoes, eggplant, Japanese cucumber, burpless cucumber, cucumber variety, crookneck squash, zucchini squash, purple bell pepper, green bell pepper, orange bell pepper, yellow bell pepper, red bell pepper, and lastly sweet pepper. The Harbor Freight greenhouse, or any greenhouse for that matter, can be done very simply, but the hydroponic setup does have quite a few benefits. We could have simply propped up the greenhouse and buried plants in the ground, but our add-ons certainly enhance our ability to grow fruits and veggies. We will make an update video when harvest season comes around. Thanks for watching.
G'day, I'm Vic and welcome to Geeko Farm, where we do things differently. This is our slice of paradise. 250 mature olive trees and a big white house up here on the hill, and a high-tech fab lab down in the town. We run a small IT business, brew alcohol, press olives, teach young geeks, grow fruit and veg, hunt, farm chickens, and experiment. But today we're doing hydroponics down on Geeko Farm. Hydroponics. It's a hot topic around here, usually with connotations of frondy plants and smiling, glazy-eyed young farmers. But for us, it's a source of fresh food all the year round. We've been doing it for about 20 years, so we've got a fair amount of experience and spare parts. But we're going to cover it now because we've moved in, we're starting up a new system, and it's a good time to show people how it's done. Hydroponics work well outdoors, but wind is a killer that will bend, break and even blow your plants right out. So we use a greenhouse. It's not so much to keep the plants warm, but to keep the weather off. High winds here will shove blown branches straight through a polytunnel, so we need the rigid frame and polycarbonate panels of our greenhouse. We've concreted well in, and it's a Titan 914 greenhouse with some extensions which we got from Hunking Garden Products. It's 7 metres by 2.7 metres huge, and it cost us about $3,500 New Zealand dollars. So our hydroponics system does away with soil and pumps just the right amount of water around the system. Not too much, or the plants drown, not too little, or the plants dry out. Periodically though, we do let all the water drain away. It stops the roots from rotting and it saves us a bit of electricity. Our tank has to hold enough water to drain the entire system. When you're designing the hydroponic system, start at the lowest point first, which is the drain tap on your holding tank. The pump connects at roughly the same level, maybe a little higher up to let the crap settle to the bottom of the tank. Once the pumps pump the water around the system, it needs to drain freely into the tank, otherwise your runs will back up and flood. Make sure that the ends of the hoses aren't actually in the water. A ball cock valve lets the water in, topping up what the plants use. The pump is a 100-watt mains pump, capable of pumping 6 litres a minute up to a 2-metre head. As the pipes have frictional losses, you need more head than you think. Thicker piping has less loss, so as we expand our system, we'll swap to this thicker 20mm pipe throughout. The pump water goes through to thinner feeders that point into our troughs. These go down a 1 in 40 slope to the drain. The troughs always have flat bottoms with the roots spreading out over a thin film of water which oxygen can get through. Round bottom troughs drown the root systems, so don't use them. The plants sit in little baskets of clay beads to support the roots. Sometimes we use vermiculite, which is basically mica popcorn. We print small pots and we buy the big ones because they're not worth printing. So that's our hydroponic system. Later, we'll cover how to add nutrients to it, and we'll take a look at what plants do and don't like hydroponic systems. But for now, that's your lot on Geeko Farm.
Hi, this is a quick rundown on how to set up our most basic kit. We call it the desktop model. As you can see, you get some very basic brackets. You get some random reading material, which you don't really have to keep. You get 2 hoses. It's part 1 of the 2-part nutrient solution, some packing foam to go around your seedlings, and of course part 2 of the nutrient solution. We suggest you use the shorter hose for an overflow. If you don't link multiple tubes together, you never have to worry about that hose again. And use the longer hose as a drain hose. We recommend at least fortnightly you drain out and replenish the nutrient, or weekly for heavier feeders. Now you can insert the brackets into the appropriate holes. And your plant is ready to be used. Cut your foam packing into strips around 20 mil or 3/4 of an inch wide. Now you can add a couple of litres of water to your planter. In concentrated form, calcium and phosphate tends to form a nasty brown sludge which plants can't use. So it's always best to mix the 2 parts separately into water. For the first 2 weeks, all you'll need is 5 mil of each part. That's more than enough for seedlings, and about all lettuce will ever need. It's a very light feeder. For the next 14 days, all you have to do is top up the planter with fresh water. And then at the end of the 14 days, you can drain it out and put in more nutrient. The planter only needs to be filled up to the level of the overflow hose. If you've raised your own seedlings in a very porous mix, you only have to wash the seedlings in a bucket of water, wrap the foam around the seedling and stick it in the hole. If you've bought punnets, they may be root bound, in which case you might find a hard spray with a hose nozzle might be more effective in cleaning the roots. These were put down on September the 18th, and about 3 weeks later we could start harvesting leaves.
Cool, right? Click the link in the description for pricing, ratings, and
our little hydroponic set. It's a deep water, uses a container, circulates with a pump. It's only really good for a few lettuces and some herbs, but our first time doing hydroponics, and I'm going to open the box. I assume this box here is the tank. Sharp knife, careful. It's in a big box, only a little bit of packing. Could have done a bit better. An empty box. A box full of nothing. Yeah, I know, I just put that in there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And yeah, so our invoice. Box. This is the container for the solution. Because hydroponics needs water with part A, part B solutions, which has all its nutrients to make it work. Carefully.
Oh, that's cool.
Cutting the box open. Nice little container. Open it up and see what's inside. Okay, we've got a filtration mat with complements. Oh, it's a little veggie. It's a little seeding pads.
I see.
Yeah, so that's where you put all your seeds, and you. I'll open it up, show you.
Okay, that's perfect.
So the little seedling, its name's foam. You drop it in, and you can see that it's all cut at the back, and you just pull it away, and allows for the roots to come down and
Cool.
for sprouting your seeds, sowing your seeds. Okay, so set it aside. And this would be the actual hydroponic, I don't know what you'd call them, tubes. Wow, that's paper. Okay. Yeah, long way. I should say some. I bagged it.
What?
I bagged it. So this is the also a what's the name tray, a seedling tray, and pads and tray and
Okay.
yeah.
Can you remove that free?
Yeah,
Is
the
that
tray comes
removable?
out. Yes, it goes out. Yeah. And
What's the paper for?
it's just a filtration paper. We just have to read all about what we have to do, how we're going to do it, and what you use. Hopefully there's some sort of instructions. Back in. Over this one. Now we open the box. This will have all the piping and the legs and the fittings and the pump. Well, that's what should be in there. Oh, look at that. Here we go. So, what we've got, and the box is in the way. So here's the, what's the name, with another free gift, the seedling, what's the name? Oh, and we've got a little, what's the name in this one? What's this? Oh, it's a USB stick. What's all that about?
It's like a torch.
It is a little torch.
We have a blue one like that.
Yeah. Nice little gift.
Wow. You're
Another
so
seedling
generous.
mat.
Yeah.
And here we go. Here's the Veggie Hydroponics user guide. So that should tell us all we need to know, hopefully, as the basic knowledge of starting a system. So we've got a submersible pump. Chinese submersible pump. Yeah, so this basically will go into the water and circulate the water from the blue tank. Then they give us some seeds. We've got a little seed counter. We've got an adapter, power adapter, some a little very small measuring cup and Teflon tape.
What's the seed?
The seeds, this is the seeds are, let me have to open it up.
Looks like a lettuce.
It does look like a lettuce. You know what I don't see? There's no solution. Yeah, 4 seasons lettuce.
Alright.
Okay, so that's to be interesting to see how that all goes. It's the first little trial. Oh, and there's a timer. So obviously the set for turning the system on and off, so you don't have to worry about it, which is nice. So the little timer, you just set it, 24 o'clock.
Oh, cool.
No,
No wonder why you need an adapter.
Yeah, it's an Australian plug or a Chinese plug.
Yeah.
The difference is that way it's Chinese, this way it's Australian.
Oh, that's it.
Mm.
Okay. Cool.
So, this is one of the connectors. This is nicely made. It's all glued together. PVC fittings. These are one of the tubes, and this would be the leg. And this is where you end up putting your plants, and the water will run through. I think when we use this, before we use it and while it's still in pieces, we'll give it a very, very good wash, clean it up, and make sure it's all nice and clean and sterile as much as we can. So, that's back, loose them. Oh, here's our solution. Oh, that's clever. Look at that. Oh, look at that. Oh, it's all falling out. Amazing. Little seedling cups.
It's so cute.
These are the little cups that you end up putting in your holes here when I go get one off. once you sprout your seedlings from your foam, you'd put it in there and you'd drop it in here. This is where the water runs past. So very nice. Again, all this needs to be washed well and rinsed because you want to make sure there's nothing from the plastic. And when I was talking about before was you need your nutrients, okay, and you have part A, part B. Okay, and these will be pre-mixed to Friends Veggies hydroponic products. They'll have their own secret solution, and but basically, I'm assuming it's for leaf vegetables.
Leafy vegetables.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there's one more solution here. It's called Nutrition C. Again, not sure what we have to do with the third one. I think there's sometimes you can get 3s and 4s types of nutrients, or then you make your own. But you need to study all that. And we'll have to read out what this is.
Cool.
Okay, so this is really good. So as I said, we need to wash it all. We won't do it tonight. And there's one other piece I just need to show you, which is this one. This one's got the hose in it, and obviously I can feel it. It's I don't know whether they've used it, but I can feel it's very dirty or dusty or something like that. So it really does need a good washing, and that was probably the only sad thing. They sort of kinked that hose a little bit. They probably could have done it a little different. And gave it a bit more protection there, but it should be okay once it goes into the pump. Obviously that ends into the pump. Yeah, so very nice, interesting. And we'll give you an installation guide
In the next video.
in the next video.
Okay, see you.
Bye. So it says with compliments, and it was part of the deal. It's a little EC, electrical current meter. So again, we need to read how it works and stuff, but EC is very important for hydroponics, and I understand that your EC level needs to be around about 1.2, somewhere in that vicinity, to make your plants grow the best. Thank you.
Hi everyone, thank you for watching. Please let us know what you think. Leave us a comment down below. See ya.
Now, once again we would like to thank you for watching our top 3 videos, for information on hydroponic farming at home for beginners. Hit that like button and that subscribe button if you enjoyed this video. Also remember that we have links below in the video description that will take you to the official page that you see here, for the Hydroponics Simplified official website, for getting started in hydroponics, expert tips, plans, and secrets, which is said to be an ebook and more information as well, that is also featured in the beginning and at the end of the video. And you can see that this featured information is said to be simply the best guide out there and more. Just take a look as we briefly scroll. Also take a look here, as it says that the featured ebook is said to take you on a journey, almost like going down a garden path, and is said to help match the right system to your situation and more. Just take a look as we briefly scroll through. Just click on the links provided in the description to see more on the featured Hydroponics Simplified official website, for getting started in hydroponics, expert tips, plans and secrets for yourself.